Hello, let's play Connections for Friday, August 14th. But first, we reveal our dad joke of the day and this day in history. Have you heard the story of the magic sandwich? Never mind, it's just a bunch of baloney. All right. Not so magical, it's just a bunch of baloney. All right. And what do you think happened on August 14th, 1935? FDR signed Social Security Act. Didn't we just have one about the Social Security Act? Or was it some? I thought it was Social Security. On August 14th, 1935, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed into law the Social Security Act. Press photographers snapped pictures as Roosevelt, flanked by ranking members of Congress, signed the historic act, which guaranteed an income for the unemployed and retirees. He commended Congress for what he considered to be a patriotic act. Roosevelt had taken the helm of the country in 1932 in the midst of the Great Depression, the nation's worst economic crisis. So the Social Security Act was in keeping with his other New Deal programs, including the establishment of the Works Progress Administration and the Civilian Conservation Corps, which attempted to hoist America out of the Great Depression by putting Americans back to work. Although it was initially created to combat unemployment, Social Security now functions primarily as a safety net for retirees and people with disabilities and provides death benefits to taxpayer dependents. The Social Security system has remained relatively unchanged since 1935. All right, and I'd like to thank Cindy Clausen for starting a new month as a member, Tier 2 member. Thank you for your support. All right, well, let's play Connections. We're finding 4 groups of 4. We've got Bumblebee, Bubble, Bass Ale, or is it Base Ale? Probably Bass. Charlie Brown, Delta Airlines, Straight Edge, Echo Chamber, Sit to Go. I feel like that's a company. I don't know what it is, but it sounds company-like. Caution Tape, Google Drive, India Ink, Silo, Dip Pen. Is that a pen you dip into the ink? When I dip, you dip. Wolverine, Hive Mind, and Bristol Board. I don't know what a lot of these things are, which is a problem. I just have to hope that a lot of them are are purple and don't use the meaning of the word. Bumblebee is interesting. So maybe we have things that are yellow and black. That's the first thing that comes to mind with Bumblebee. Or maybe we're starting with Bumble, right? So it could be starting with dating apps. I don't see, I mean, I'm not super familiar with all the dating apps, but I don't see any others. We've had dating app categories before. It's usually like Bumble and Match and I forget what else. Could be that it ends in B. Are we ending in homophones of letters? I'm trying to find the purple so I can get rid of the ones I don't know, but maybe that's not going to happen. How about Bubble? My daughter loves bubbles so much. Bubble, bubble. She is 23 months soon, next few days, if you believe it. What are we playing with Bubble, though? I don't know, like, yeah, echo chamber and hive mind. This is words for like people who are stuck in a like a community that reinforces each other's beliefs. So a bubble, echo chamber, hive mind. What is the fourth one? Maybe a silo. Although I haven't heard that before, I would understand if someone said that. Everyone's in a sit go. Okay, I think this is one, and it could be yellow because it is pretty straightforward synonyms once you get the context. But we'll see. It might be green if there's an easier synonymy category or categorical category. Categorical category. Like a these are all cats type category, right? Charlie Brown makes me wonder if we're using Charlie or Brown. You know, we could be starting with although this might be a rainbow herring because we have echo here, but sorry, the NATO phonetic alphabet. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, etc. India is one, I believe. But Echo is, unless this is a rainbow herring, because I already have Echo marked yellow, it makes me think this is our rainbow herring, which is unfortunate, but it could be. So this could be starting with, this could be purple and it's starting with NATO phonetic alphabet, which I highly recommend memorizing. If you ever have to read off things on the phone, it makes it clear what letters you want and you don't have to think about it. All right. So yeah, that's yeah, I'm not seeing other starts with. All right. So what if we tried to split this up then? What would Delta Airlines actually go with? Is Citgo an airline? I don't know. I don't see four airlines. This Bumblebee's an airline. How about a straight edge? So straight edge is obviously like a ruler or something that you're going to use to draw straight lines. But straight edge can also be a metaphor for someone who is rigid and following the rules. What's a Bristol board? Shoot. We've got India ink and dip pen. They sound related. You dip your pen in India ink. I don't know. Dip your dip pen in India ink. Caution tape is yellow and black. Okay. Bumblebee's yellow, black. Caution tape, orange, black, yellow, black. Something like that. So it could be things with black stripes, or it could be things that are yellow, black. So I'm looking for things that could be yellow, black. I think Charlie Brown wears yellow and black stripes. I don't. I have aphantasia. I can't visualize. So it has to be a fact that I've remembered about Charlie Brown. A lot of you can just be like, just picture Charlie Brown. But for me, it's like, last time I saw him years ago, did I memorize the fact that he has yellow and black stripes on his clothes? I think he does. Um, and so I'm wondering, like a Wolverine the comic book character wears yellow and black. Okay, I was like a Wolverine the I don't know why my first thought went to the actual animal, but yeah, the actual animal is not yellow and black, but in the comics, Wolverine wears yellow and black, and in Deadpool and Wolverine. Um, is that green? I don't know. I'm gonna mark it green because the other ones seem harder because I haven't found them yet. That's why I think they're harder. Which is honestly not a bad heuristic. um, so that was the Charlie. So I think we need to have Delta Airlines be something and be a category creator, and we need to have Indie Inc. be a category creator. Google Drive is interesting. What would we be doing with that? Delta and Google? Bristol. What is Citgo? We're getting into the ones where I don't know what they are. I don't know what Bass Ale is or Base Ale. I'm assuming it's like an alcoholic drink brand that uses a fish on their logo because like that's what it sounds like. But Citgo. Isn't Bristol a city? Is that Belgium? I always get made fun of for getting the wrong country, but I'm trying to remember what country Bristol is in, and if it's spelled that way. I don't know. Um, this is a problem for me. How about straight edge? Let's build something out of. Well, no, I want to build something out of either. What were they? India Inc. or Delta Airlines. These should be two different categories, according to the meta of having a almost every puzzle having a rainbow herring. I haven't flown Delta in a long time. I usually fly Southwest or United. I used to fly Delta years ago, maybe like in the 90s. Um, Delta Airlines. Could we be using like just lines? Like we have a line, we have an edge. It doesn't seem right. Trying to see if it's used the first word, second word, or like even just a starts with, ends with, but I'm just not seeing it. I don't know how a fill in the blank would work for these. Google Drive, where online cloud storage for your files. So maybe something to do with clouds, like Google Drive's on the cloud. Delta Airline airplanes go into clouds. I don't know about the airline itself being in the clouds, but we can say related to clouds in some way, but I don't see how anything else is related to clouds. Okay. Shoot. I'm starting to think I should lock in these, but I mean, I'm pretty confident that they're categories. So it wouldn't really make a difference. Let's think about India ink. Why India ink? Like, are people expected to know what that is? Or are we doing like, you need ink, you need edge, you need a pen? Like, these are things that you would need to draw. So maybe you need a pen, an edge, an ink, and a board. Maybe that's purple. Let me underline that so I can look at what the other what that would make the other category. All right, it's going to be Delta Airlines, Google Drive, Bass Ale, and Citgo. See, I would think this is purple because we're not using the meanings of the words. We're using the last word. But these could all just be what they sound like, and could be blue as just things you need for drawing something specific, like literally a dip pen, a straight edge, an India ink, and Bristol board. So that could make it blue. And then this would be purple, which I'm starting to think is true. But I'm not seeing what purple's doing, but I'm going to try this as purple. Triangle logos. Oh, no wonder. Yes, Delta Airlines has a triangle logo. Google Drive, thinking about it, has a triangle logo. I don't know what Bass Ale is or Citgo is, so knowing that they have triangle logos was out of reach. All right, so dip pen, straight edge, indie ink, Bristol board. I think this is blue, and it's like we're drawing something. Comic book artist tools. Okay. A lot of trivia I don't know, but at least I'm getting a perfect. Now, I think that yellow black is going to be green because it feels a less straightforward than synonyms, but you never know with this game. But I have to make sure I get the correct ones. So caution tape, yes. Charlie Brown, yes. Bumblebee, yes. Wolverine, yes. This is yellow black wearers. Yellow, it's yellow black. Black and yellow. They made it yellow. I don't know. I don't know how to win this game. I got the Rangsk rainbow, which I did not coin, but I'm perfectly happy to use. Like, this is definitely more straightforward than this. This is synonyms. And you can't say a fifth grader's going to know what Charlie Brown wears. I don't know. Fifth graders don't read comics. Newspaper comics, colored ones. Anyway, maybe they've seen the Charlie Brown special or something for Christmas. I don't know. All right. I'm just talking about the rule of thumb of if you're unsure between yellow and green, pick the one that a fifth grader would be more likely to know, but it's just a heuristic and it fails a lot of the time. I don't know how, I don't know. Like, this isn't a these are all cats category. This is a they're all associated with black and yellow, and some of them in a non-obvious way, but who knows? What do I know? All right, well, let's get the I know my biggest complaint often is the colors they choose, but if they're going to give a badge for reverse rainbow, they should make it possible to get reverse rainbow. Today's difficulty 3 out of 5. They thought it was pretty hard today. 59% solve rate. Okay, we do have a million games in. I'm doing this later than I usually do. Yep, got the Rangsk rainbow and 98 skill. It's really even. That's crazy. This is of people who won, but it's surprisingly even with a little bit of an edge for yellow and blue. Places where everyone thinks the same ways. I didn't notice that was the category title, but yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of what I said. Really even on second. So here's the thing. You either got nothing or you won. It seems like 18% got absolutely nothing. And then there's a kind of a spread of getting one of the categories, and a little bit of blue green. There's not any losers or losers. Not any people who lost. You weren't loser if you lost. That was a bad phrasing. Very few people who lost got purple. So if you got purple, you're pretty much good. I mean, there's like a 1% here, a 1% here, but like statistically. And then this is, of course, our rainbow herring that 21% of people found, starting with native phonetic terms. Caution tape as drawing supplies. Yeah, of course. Oh, thinking these are comic characters, if Hive Mind is a comic character. Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of guessing going on here. Like, I know 3 out of the 4. I'm not sure what the 4th is. Like, oh, maybe Bass Ale is yellow black, for example. Not seeing Wolverine for that. If you're thinking of the animal, it wouldn't make sense, right? In fact, the phonetic alphabet is the most common first lock-in. Is finding that the rainbow, it was not in the first 2 rows. The only reason I identified it as the rainbow herring is I already had yellow identified. So there's that, I guess. Or no, I'd already had green identified. I think it was green I had identified. I did not identify Charlie Brown yet. I think. Yeah, I had it marked as yellow, but it was actually green. That's why I was thinking of it as yellow. Blue first, yellow first, green first, purple first, and then some mistakes related to those categories, of course. All right. Well, how'd you do?